What's up, everyone? So in case you guys didn't notice, they actually just released a new thing, not the friendship event, but it is a pre-notice. They literally just released it this basically like an hour ago, and it was brought to my attention, so we're gonna actually go over it because it has a lot of content and I think it's something that's definitely worth noting. So alright, so it's basically a list of everything that they are going to be rebalancing, changing, fixing, all this crazy stuff. And I went through it really quick, just skimmed over it, and it looks like there's a lot of good stuff. So let's go ahead and read it. I'll go ahead and just kind of try to prioritize the top here. So, alright, so Hell Lady, it's got the water, the wind, and the dark. They are buffing it. They're changing some of the skills. So they take the destroys enemy targets max HP by 30% of the damage dealt. So the water one, remember Beth, how we went over the Hell Ladies, how she was probably the worst one? Well, she actually destroys, like a destroy rune, 30% of the max HP, of the, or 30% of the damage dealt to the max HP. Okay, that's actually, that makes her a lot better, but we still have the wind and the dark one that are getting additional effects. Guarantees a stun if the enemy is at 30% HP or less. For the wind one, this absolutely makes Ethna a Theomar's killer. If she one-shots Theomar's and he pops that Endure, she's guaranteed a stun. Absolutely guaranteed. We went over it in the past video with Hell Ladies about how she's pretty much guaranteed to stun, ignoring resistance and all that type of stuff, because you know it could still get resisted. This will not get resisted. So right there it says ignores resistance. Yeah. So that is absolutely a Theomar's killer. Incredible. Okay, incredible. And then the dark one, of course, got the most overpowered addition to the Hell Ladies. Makes the revived ally invincible for one turn. So not only does she basically revive a monster with all of their skills on no cooldown, they're all available for use, they now get summoned invincible. That is okay. That is really overpowered. That is whew, I know one specific person that's going to be very happy about that Dark Hell Lady buff, because that low HP revive is like, you know, and it's kind of hard to work with. You need to make sure they're speedy and the healer and type stuff. Well, invincible for one turn. That's crazy. That is crazy. Okay, so the Serpent's got a buff. They increase the chance to remove beneficial effect, increase from 50% to 75, and they increase the damage a bit for all of them on the first skill. And then the Awakening ability, they changed it from inflicting damage to the attack power over to max HP for the win one. Yeah, and then remove beneficial effect from 50 to 75. Okay, yep. Provoke 75 to 100%. So a lot of these Serpents are getting changes and stuff like that. So now it attacks all enemies instead of a single target. For the wind one, it's an AoE. The dark one, it's now an AoE, and then the damage change according to the target change. Okay. A lot of Serpent changes. Yeah, like 6 or 7 changes here. I think 7. Wow. Okay. And then again, the dark one changed over from attack power over to max HP for the damage. And then now the light one it's now stacking up to 10 times. If you guys didn't know that, it would stack up to 5 every time you hit it. Its attack power would increase by 5%, I believe, or something like that. I think it maybe increased by like 25% or something like that. Yeah, like 25%. Now it stacks up to 10 times, so 200% max. Okay. All right, moving on, because the Serpents aren't really the big deal here. Samurais, Sword of the Supreme, Skywolf, all of them. Additional effect. It generates a shield proportionate to or level for one turn when it's activated. Okay, so this is not when you use it, it's when you activate it. So, it could be actually when you actually use that third, or the fourth one, the very fourth skill, when you actually use it to attack, or when you get that like charge up ability. I'm not sure yet. That's interesting. I'm gonna have to check that out when this actually gets finished. So definitely, that's huge. That's a very, very good one for the light and the dark ones. I don't really care for the fire, water, or wind so much, but the light and dark ones are very, very strong. And this boost to all of them basically makes them even better. The Beast Hunters really aren't worth building, I would say. I think a lot of people would agree with me on that. Maybe there's some people that like some of them, but it's mainly just damage increases, additional effects. If the attack fails to ignore defense, the next attack will have a 5% increased chance to ignore the target's defense. Okay. So every time you miss an ignored defense on whichever skills they are, it will increase the chance until you land that ignored defense, and then it resets it. That's really cool. Okay. And then, alright, this is where it starts getting serious, guys. The Fire Chimera. That third skill, that Bruiser we were talking about, how it does proportionate to its own max HP. Well, it decreases, now it's going to decrease the enemy's attack bar by 50% and decrease its attack speed for 2 turns. This is gonna be cool. That's gonna be really cool. Now, I don't know if this is gonna make him any better than, any of the other chimeras, but definitely makes him better than he used to be. Now, the wind one, this is one that actually affects me since I have the wind one, and this is incredible. Stun target with a 50% chance is increased to 75% chance, and the cooldown is reduced by 1 turn. Ooh, yes, this is something that we wanted. This is something we really, really wanted. Hell yeah. I knew it wasn't going to be increased to 100% chance because that's just overpowered, but seriously, this is awesome. This is seriously really incredible for the Wind Chimera. This is going to help me a lot. And then the light one, this is one of the biggest changes in this little list. This is great for YDCB because he does have Sean. He's going to love this. I'm sure he's already seen it. Stuns up to 3 enemies. So this is before the change, okay? He would stun up to 3 enemies, including the target, and heals yourself. If there are not enough enemies to stun, the excessive stuns will heal allies with low HP instead. And then the healing amount is based on the max HP. Now, the Light Chimera is just kind of one of those, I'd say he's probably right behind Fire Chimera on just bad for the Chimeras, or just not useful, I should say. Now they're changing it to stuns all enemies with an 80% chance, increases the attack speed of all allies for 2 turns, and increases the attack bar of all allies by 25% chance. Ooh. That sounds really good for TOA, almost. Because it's got a really nice stun ability, increases the attack speed, and increases the attack bar. No healing, but okay. That seems really good for TOA. Doesn't do any damage though, so it's not something you'd be using in like PvP, but definitely in TOA possibly. Huh, okay, that's definitely cool. Alright, so this is where the Occult Girls get buffed. A lot of people have been asking for the Occult Girls to get buffed. I don't think any of them are particularly special. I think all of them are lackluster in their own way, so definitely this is something that they needed. So the first skill for all of them got buffed from a 20% chance to proc to a 25% chance. So basically, they've got a bigger chance than Violent Runes, which I think is fair. It's kind of like the Brownie Magicians. So definitely violent. Okay. And then the Water and the Dark ones. Oh, come on. They didn't fix it. The Girl's Prayer, the Water and the Dark, they're supposed to change it from recovering based on attack power over to HP, based on the max HP, but instead they increase the recovery amount by 14%, which is, it's better than nothing, but again, one of my big points on the rant on the Water and the Dark Occult Girls is that you either have to build them for their heal, which is based on attack power, or you have to build them for their max HP to stay alive for their utility, which means that their heal is not going to do jack shit. Now this should help fix it a little bit, which should make them a little bit better, which is always nice. Also, another thing that I've complained about the Water Occult Girl, where the decreased defense is only a 30% chance. Total, I believe it was about a 65% chance. Well, now it changed, so now it's going to be 40% chance base, the base part, and then maybe it will increase to a 50% chance. I think it does increase to a 50% chance now, since you can't upgrade that. So this is going to be a whole new equation to that. So the Occult Girl video about the chance to land the defense break, that is going to be no longer correct. This new correct version, higher chance to land the defense break, it'll probably be somewhere in the 70s now. No, probably in the 80s actually. Around the 80s, like an 85% chance or something like that, which is still low, but decent. It's better now. Definitely the Water Coat Girl has gotten better, which, I mean, they're buffing her, so obviously they think that she needs changes, which I can agree with. The Fire Coat Girl, damage is increased, awesome. We definitely wanted that. And then decreases the attack speed with 30% chance to a 40% chance. Thank you. This is something that they really needed to. Guaranteed critical hits to enemies with 30% HP or less. Inflicts continuous damage for 2 turns with a 40% chance. Okay. I think they're changing it. So instead of guaranteed critical hits, they're changing it to continuous damage. So that's interesting. I don't think either of them are particularly special in a way. I think the continuous damage will be a better thing because most of the time they're not going to be at 30% or lower than 30% HP, and if they are, if you don't crit, you're basically going to kill them with that many hits that you do with the Fire Coat Girl. I mean, you should have enough crit anyways, but okay, interesting. Definitely a buff though. The Wind Coat Girl, damaging is increased. Definitely something that she needed to. Fire and the Wind one, I think they're pretty good actually. They definitely needed the damage increase, and this should really help. Increases the glancing hit. Ooh, oh, the Wind Coat Girl just got a major buff. So increases the glancing hit chance from a 30 to 40% chance, which is nice, yeah. But check out this part. Attack bar reduction amount is increased from 10% to 15%. That is massive change. That is a massive change. So in case you guys don't know, when you're building a Wombo team, a lot of people will put a Veramos on Nemesis. Now when you hit them with Nemesis runes, their attack bar will increase based on the HP that they've lost. So you can imagine when you bring some damage dealers, you hit that Veramos from an AoE attack, he gets his little attack bar increase from Nemesis proc, he removes all of that defense break, and he gets to stun. So now what do? So the way that I handle that is with Poseidon's third skill. He goes first, right after Galleon, to basically do damage, but reduce all of the attack bars on all of the enemies. Well, the reason I think the Wind Coat Girl is actually quite good is because with her third skill AoE, it reduces the attack bar, which makes her very, very good for Wombo teams because there's not very many damage AoE monsters that can actually reduce the attack bars. Hard to work around, but it's something that you have to deal with when you're building Wombo teams. So if you do have the Wind Coat Girl, definitely look at that. Okay, so this is another thing. The Light Occult Girl decreases the attack power with a 30% chance, is increased to a 40% chance. Definitely something good that you might want to look for TOA hard mode, since that low chance to land it just made it really sucky. But you know, now she's got stun, she's got increased proc chance for extra turns on her first skill, and she's got an increased chance to land attack power for 3 turns. So she's not looking so bad now. So, I mean, she still kind of seems a little bit less useful than the other Coat Girls because everyone got buffed, but still quite good. Now the Dark Coat Girl got a damage increase by 11%. That's a lot more than the other one. Okay, and the HP recovery is increased with a 15% chance over to a 30% chance. Holy shit, that is massive. Given that she hits, I believe it's either 4 times or 6 times. I think it's like 6 times. Regardless, that is going to be in the 90% somewhere up there. That is awesome. Okay, and that's 3 turn heal block. Amazing for Rift, if you have her, okay? The Living Armor, they got a buff on the first skill. Decreases the attack speed of the target for 2 turns if the target is under defense reduction effects. Okay, yada yada yada. Light Living Armor. Okay, nothing that is actually too crazy. The Living Armors aren't incredibly... if I miss anything, let me know. But I'm just skipping over the things that just don't seem as useful. Okay, so here we get to the Monkey Kings. The Water Monkey and the Light Monkey. Their second skill, their AoE skill, that I always complain about being useless, activates the harmful effect with a 75% chance. They changed it to a 100% chance, so now it's going to decrease the attack bar by 30%. Still crap, but you know, nothing really we can really do about that. Hopefully they buff them more. They need a buff. The Water and the Light Monkey Kings need buffing. definitely. Water the most, because the Water Monkey King sucks. The Light Monkey King, okay, so they changed the third skill from a 75% chance to an 80% chance. Okay, good. And then they changed the Dark Monkey King's skill, the third skill, from a 50% chance to guaranteed defense reduction and stuns the target with a 50% chance. So now that's an AoE skill, an AoE defense break for the Dark Monkey King. Ooh, that is really good. Ooh, that is really, really good. Okay. Now the Dark Brownie Magician got a buff. Removes a harmful effect with a 75% chance up to a 100% chance. Oh. Ooh. Okay. So the Dark Brownie Magician, I didn't even know it removed. Did it remove? Oh, okay. So it removes a harmful effect with, okay. So basically it would remove the harmful effects and then put on sleeping skills for however many harmful effects it had. So if it had 2 harmful effects, it would put on sleep for 2 turns. But they changed that, so now it has a 100% chance to activate that skill. I didn't even know it had a 75% chance. I thought it was 100%. Okay, whatever. Still, kind of, Corona's not really something I would waste my time with, but it seems like fun monster to use, actually. Okay, so the Minotaurus, nope. The Fire Succubus got a cooldown reduced by 1 turn for that third skill. Okay, interesting. Wind Cold Balled Bomber. Effect of increasing the enemy's skill cooldowns by 1 turn will now also include passive skills. Whoa! Okay, so now this includes passive skills. That's all you need to kill Theomars. So if you want to use this on Guild Wars to kill some Theomars, you could probably do that too. The fairies, interesting, just to that heal. The Fairy Queen, same with the Fairy Queen, just with that heal, with the disturbing recovery and stuff like that. They changed it so it heals properly. The Fire and the Light Polar Queen, how the Fire Polar Queen casts that little shield and the attack break. The Light one did that too. Well, they changed that so that the cooldown is reduced by 1. Interesting, okay. Fire Polar Queen, Touch of Mercy will no longer remove stun and freeze effects. That doesn't matter because the Fire Polar Queen was looked at for Rift. Well, she still removes all of those debuffs on the boss, and you don't want that. So, I don't know how I feel about her still. Still something, you could use in Guild Wars or in like Rush Hour for that leader skill. But, okay. Elven Rangers, just damage. Yep, just damage increases. Okay, so the Sylphid, the Water Sylphid, reduced by 1 turn. Okay. Same thing with the Awakening ability, reduced by 1 turn. So now it's going to be a 5-turn single target full HP heal. And then the Fire Sylphid. Oh, wow. So now when the Fire Sylphid dies, it removes all harmful effects on all allies. And then it heals them fully. Wow, okay. Oh, wow. So now the Sylphid is actually, the cooldown is reduced. Now this is weird. So it says the Sylphid, the Wind, the Force Field, the cooldown was reduced by 1 turn from 6 to 5 turns. And then the Awakening ability is reduced by 1 turn from 6 to 5 turns. Now I think this is a typo. I think it's supposed to be from 5 to 4 turns. So that 3-turn shield is actually going to be a 4-turn cooldown. Okay. I think it's a typo. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Okay, this is a really long video, but this is a lot of content. The Assassin, the Fire, all of their first skill damage is increased. The Water, the Fire, and the Light has that little branding effect that they get an increased chance to land that. Perfect. Perfect for Rift, too, for that Water one, because I know a few higher end players use her for Rift, if you don't have the Light one, or even the Dark one. Okay. The Wind one, damage is increased by 4%. Phantom Thief, the Water and the Light one, attack up to 3 enemies. Okay, so it's just with that second skill. They increase damage for that second skill and then decrease the attack speed. Higher chance to activate that. Alright, okay. They also reduce the cooldown on the Phantom Thief's third skill AoE defense break. Okay, that is actually pretty cool for everyone that's using him too. Ooh, the Phantom Thief, the light one, reduces your current HP by 50%. Balance. Okay, so now instead of reducing the HP by 50%, it's like a balancing HP skill. Interesting. The Dark Phantom Thief, for those that have him, the critical rate is increased by 20%. Well, instead, the critical damage is increased by 50%. Okay. I don't know a lot of people that use them, but okay. And then they did some AI fixes with all of the buff removers. So the Water Ninetail Fox, the Light Phoenix, all of the Oracles, and the Wind Brownie Magician. Those are the main ones. They all fix their AI in the dungeons to only remove effects only at necessary moments. Okay, definitely interesting. And then the Water and the Dark one had skill description modifications. If you want to read that, go ahead. And then they fix some skill errors. If you want to read that, you can as well. And then, okay, so this is the very last part. The awakening effect of some monsters have been changed. This is something that we complained about the chimeras. So, awesome. Very, very awesome. Okay, so they changed the fire and the light chimeras. Instead of resistance, since the fire one puts on self-immunity, they increased it to do accuracy by 25% for the fire and the light chimeras. The light one I can understand. Fire one I can understand as well. But where the hell is Zeratu's awakening effect change? He still has that 25% resistance awakening effect. It makes absolutely no sense. So, alright, okay, I guess. And then they're changing the stats. So they're changing the stats of the Light Chimera and the Water Monkey King. They're doing so many things to the the Light Chimera and the Water Monkey King because they know these two monsters have been whacked since they first came out. So the Light Chimera, the monster type has been changed from support to attack, and the stats have been modified correspondingly. Okay, the Monkey King, the stats have been changed to match the monster type attack. That makes no sense. Okay, hold on. Let's check this out. Let's look at this, and let's think about this for a second. Let's go over to the Light Chimera. He's support. They're gonna change him to an attack-based monster when he's changing him to a more support role. He stuns, increases the attack speed, and increases the attack bar by 25%. I could see this actually being quite useful in Arena or Guild Wars if you could utilize a Squall and super fast to stun and increase your attack speed and all this type of stuff. But then again, let's check out that Water Monkey King. The Water Monkey King, he's already attack based. So I think they're going to buff his stats. They're getting a buff, so he's going to get more attack power, probably a little bit less HP or something like that. But they're not touching his awakening effect, which is plus 15 speed, I believe. Yep. So that's good. So they're just going to fix some stuff with the Monkey King. Finally, it's been a long time for that. So, alright, well this is a long, over 20-minute video. I just wanted to go through everything. Thank you to those that have lasted this long. If you guys want to go check this out, it is over here in the event page, or the news page I should say, all the way at the bottom for the pre-notice. Check it out. They also announced the rune removals coming up soon, so don't miss out on that. And let me know what you guys think. What is your favorite fix to these monsters and why? Alright guys, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Stay awesome.